Hey there, welcome back to No Recipe Required. Hope you're doing well tonight. So I'm gonna make a pizza for you tonight. This pizza is it's a wild mushroom pizza. I went to the store. They happen to have some chanterelles, some shiitakes in there. We're gonna saute them up. Obviously put them on the pizza with a little bit of thyme in there. It's gonna be absolutely delicious. Let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, for our wild mushroom pizza, I've got two types of mushrooms here. I've got some baby chanterelles. I like to use small mushrooms for this recipe, but I also like to keep them fairly whole and intact. These look about the size that I want. The shiitakes, they're also little baby mushrooms. Again, if you can only find larger mushrooms, no problem. You can go ahead and use those. But with these, like with all shiitake, you do want to remove the stems. The stems on these particular mushrooms, again the shiitake, they're not really all that tasty. They're kind of tough and woody, and we definitely want to remove those. So I'm going to do that, get these stems off, and then cut at least the larger ones. Yeah, that one's probably fine, but the larger ones I'm going to cut in half, and then we're going to saute these before we top them on our pizza. I've got my mushrooms for my wild mushroom pizza. Nicely cleaned out, made sure there wasn't any dirt or sticks or stones in there or anything like that. I've got my shiitakes and chanterelles just mixed together, and I'm going to saute them in a little bit of olive oil over medium high heat, and just get some of that water evaporated. I'm going to add salt and pepper like we always do, and I'm not going to cook these all the way down to where they are firm and crunchy like I do sometimes with mushrooms. I want these to retain a little bit of their softness because we are going to cook them again in the oven. And I want that mushroom flavor, to still be kind of fresh and light. So I'm going to let these go for probably 5 to 7 minutes in total. We'll come back about halfway through. All right, I'm about 2 or 3 minutes through with my mushrooms, or cook time with my mushrooms, and we're probably halfway, 3/4 of the way through. I'm going to add the leaves of a sprig of thyme. Now this is optional. If you don't have thyme, go ahead, use the mushrooms, and you'll still have a great pizza. But the thyme and the mushroom is just kind of a natural combination, and sauteing them together like this will just help bring out the flavor of both. Okay, let's go ahead and make our wild mushroom pizza. I've got my dough rolled out as normal, and this is also my basic or my standard tomato sauce. You want to lay that down there in a nice, not too thick layer, but you do want to have enough to make sure people can taste the sauce. Well, you can taste the sauce. We go ahead and lay that down, and then I like to use, for cheese on this pizza, with almost any mushroom pizza, I like to use a couple cheeses. I use this normal mozzarella, which is what I've got here, but then I frequently like frankly a bit of a stinkier cheese to kind of set the mushrooms off. Mushrooms have that earthy flavor, and I want to highlight that with another type of cheese. Here I've got a Gruyere cheese, which is very similar to Swiss cheese. It's actually it's the topping on French onion soup traditionally, and I'm going to spread that around as well. And then I like to do the mushrooms last. And remember, these are the nice big wild mushrooms that we sauteed off before, and you want a good healthy amount and distribution kind of all over the pizza there. And again, I love to have those mushroom shapes. Keep them big enough where people can actually tell, oh yeah, that's a mushroom. We'll spread that around, and then we can pop this into an oven, as high as you can get it, high as your oven can go. I've got mine at 500. We'll slide this on a pizza stone for probably 7 to 8 minutes. Okay, we've got our wild mushroom pizza done now. You can see I've got a nice crispy crust on there. It takes about 10-15 minutes or so. And once you pull it out, I do two things. One, it needs to rest. If you cut into it now, you're going to burn your mouth, and it's not going to be good. The cheese will run everywhere. I also make sure I put it on a nice hot plate. Either leave it on the pizza stone or in this case, I've got a nice big cast iron pan that I let it cool down and rest on, and that really helps crisp up the crust before you cut it, and makes the serving absolutely perfect. I'll see you next time on No Recipe Required.